We're back with a look at Ohio, where officials are bracing for potential unrest as a special grand jury is set to convene today in Akron to decide whether charges should be filed against the police officers involved in the death of the 25-year-old black man.
Jayland Walker was killed during an attempted traffic stop last year. The stop resulted in Walker being shot 46 times, according to the medical examiner's office. NBC News correspondent Jesse Kirsch joins us now from Akron, Ohio, with the very latest. Jess, good morning. So what's the mood like there ahead of this grand jury meeting?
Yes, and Clay, good morning. This is a community that has in mind what happened last year in June in the aftermath of this shooting death. You can see behind me the courthouse has fencing around it. There are some windows that are boarded up, and there are community members that some see this as being reminiscent of other cases that have involved police violence. Here's part of what one member of this community shared with us.
I just think we've seen this before, and it's everyone knows what's right and wrong. Whether they say they don't or they do, and they know. And obviously, in my opinion, it was wrong. And they should be punished the way that they punish everybody else.
And that is something that will be considered by a grand jury once it is impaneled. We are looking at grand jury selection beginning today. There will be 9 members on this grand jury. 7 of the 9 will have to determine there is probable cause for any or all of the 8 officers involved in this incident to be indicted. That would then lead to a potential trial. It does not mean a trial is a foregone conclusion. This is just about figuring out if the officers could face trial.
And Jesse, you touched on this. Last year, there were protests and riots after his death. We know the city has been preparing for potential unrest when the jury finally reaches a decision. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, so the city has set up, Clay, a demonstration zone where people will be allowed to protest in the street so that they do not need to worry about traffic coming by them. I mentioned there's fencing behind me here. There are some windows that are boarded up, so this is something that is top of mind. And they did see unrest in this community in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. So here's part of what we heard from community members about what they're thinking right now as they prepare for grand jury proceedings.
Our windows, we have plexiglass on them right now, so I'm going to hope that that would be enough to protect them if there are any problems down here. I really don't know what to expect. I'm hoping that everybody, if they're, they protest, they'll protest peacefully. And that's what all I can do is hope for the best, and have faith that it'll all work out in the long run.
So that's, again, what's on the minds of some community members here. And we expect this grand jury proceeding potentially take up to a week for prosecutors to be presenting their evidence.
And Jesse, you touched on it. What should we be expecting from the grand jury proceedings today, and any insights into where this case could land?
Yeah, so today is about the selection. Once grand jurors are selected, there will be 9 of them impaneled in this grand jury. This is a special grand jury. They are only focusing on this case, we're told. Evidence that is presented could include, we're told, testimony from witnesses, including from the officers involved in this shooting incident themselves. We also could be looking at the grand jury potentially reviewing body-worn camera footage and audio from that incident, among other pieces of evidence. And again, this is expected to take about a week, after which time we may be looking at potential trials for any or all of the 8 officers involved, guys.
A lot to watch. All eyes on Akron, Ohio. Jesse Kirsch, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.